Well, I decided to go ahead and harvest my celery. My Utah tall celery and my tender crisp celery that was started in the hydroponic. And of course, they're not big stalks like you would find in the grocery store, but I do have an abundance of them. So I'm going to get all of these cleaned up and chopped up, and I'm going to do a flash freeze on them. So I'll bring you guys back along when I get this all chopped up and getting ready to put it in the freezer for a flash freeze. Okay, I've got all the tops pulled, cut off of the celery. I got a lot of celery. Now it's time to get it all diced up in the next stage of the prepping. Okay, so here's my flash freeze on all the celery. I was going to just freeze these. These have 3 or 4 layers. That one has for sure 4 layers, separated by parchment paper in here. I was going to just freeze these, but instead of taking up that much space in my freezer, I'm going to dehydrate these, store them in Mylar bags, and then pull out what I need for soups and stews. Because I can open up the Mylar bag and pour out a cup or whatever, and I actually have some small Mylar bags that I could do like a cup in each one of them. So let's see what I end up doing. Okay, so here's what we decided to do with our celery harvest. We are going to dehydrate all of it and then store it in Mylar bags, 1 cup servings. So we've got all of our trays loaded. This is a 10 tray dehydrator, and we're going to start that going. Over here we've got some onions that we're dehydrating, so we had to pull out the big dehydrator for the celery. So we'll bring you guys back along with the final product and how we store it. All of my celery has finally dehydrated, and I am going to get that all moved over to one central area. Now I used parchment paper. It makes it really easy to come off and go into a bowl. So I'll show you what I'm doing and how I am doing this, because it just comes really easily off of this parchment paper. I am just emptying over in here. And the good thing about dehydrating your celery, you can make celery salt, you can make a celery powder, or you can just add this dehydrated celery to any dish, such as like a soup or stew or something like that. Now we do a lot of cooking like that for the winter time. Now if I want to add celery to a potato salad or a chicken salad, I would rehydrate some of this first. So I am going to set some of this aside in a jar for adding to soups and stews, but I'm not going to powder up any right now, but I will in the event that I see I want to do that. I can just get some out of my jar and do that. Now some of this I used wax paper. It doesn't matter, wax paper. You can line your trays with wax paper or parchment paper. It makes it really easy when you're pulling it out of the dehydrator. So yeah, all of my celery has been harvested and dehydrated. So now it's just kind of endless on a few of the things that you can do with dehydrated celery. Now ideally, I would love to have a freeze dryer. I would love for this to be freeze dried instead and in a jar, because it keeps the nutrients and stuff like that a lot better. Unfortunately, I do not have a freeze dryer, and this is all I have. This is all I can do with what I have to work with. So I'm just going to get the rest of it out of my dehydrator and get it all over into my bowl, and then I will bring you guys back along when I'm going to put it all in a jar and vacuum seal it closed. So I was going to do Mylar bags, but at this point I think I'll probably have about a quart. We'll see. So I'll bring you guys back along soon. So my celery harvest rendered a quart and a pint of dehydrated celery. So I'm going to get these sealed up and get them on the pantry shelf. Thank you guys for watching and coming along with me as we processed our harvested celery for the season. We'll see you on the next one.